the need for minimum wage to be increased and more people to get involved to pushing the issue. Today, I will be persuading you to stand up and do something about it. Many have begun to struggle to stay afloat in this new economy. After the pandemic, a main reason being the lack thereof minimum wage increasing. Take a moment to think of someone or even yourself who has been affected by this low ball of minimum wage while trying to simply just live. In this speech, I will be opening your mind to the fact that minimum wage must be increased drastically, not slowly, year by year, as it is doing right now, and get you involved to make a stand to get this passed by Senate. I think we all know someone or is someone who would benefit from increasing minimum wage. Increasing of minimum wage as of Journal of Policy Analysis and Management article, it's something that is very crucial in the day and times because we are living in a world that is always increasing. The economy has increased so much, but yet the pay is still the same. People to get involved on speaking out about increasing minimum wage. A lot of talk about increasing minimum wage has become non-existent. Many people are living through this and are not being able to financially take care of themselves because of the minimum wage factors that they face day to day. Should the federal minimum wage be increased gradually over 5 years to $15 an hour? No. Journal of Policy Analysis and Management article did bring this to surface, and they did speak about those things and how $15 an hour is not something typically someone can live off of, especially in the economy that we live in after the pandemic. The pandemic has skyrocketed prices on food, on the cost of living. Just to live in an apartment has gone up very, very high. And for to be paid minimum wage being $15 an hour, there's nothing no one can live off of $15 an hour. Next, we may have heard some things about minimum wage increasing, but what can we do to push the issue? I strongly encourage everyone to get out and vote. Those representatives that are in your state, in your area, where your local area, you need to vote for those people, because you can't have someone speaking for you who does not know or understand what you are going through in your day-to-day life. Be an advocate for increasing minimum wage. Protest. You guys, we have a voice. We're able to freely use our voice, and we should be out there talking about it, getting the word out, getting people involved, getting others involved, because there are so many people that are struggling every day due to this minimum wage crisis. Research on minimum wage increasing and earned income tax credit. You need to do your research, because there's a lot of things that are going on in the world that we have no clue about. And we have no clue about it because we do not do the work to find out what is going on. Now, if we do not stand up and speak out about the issue, the poverty levels will continue to increase in the world. A snippet from Journal of Policy and Analysis and Management article. Furthermore, they find even more consensus of negative employment effects in the literature that focus on workers with relatively less experience, those are our teens and our young adults, and on workers who are relatively less skilled, those with less education. Studies of workers directly affected by minimum wage increases feature even stronger negative estimates. So you got to think about it. These are young adults and teens and people who hasn't been able to further their education that are affected by this minimum wage crisis. Earlier empirical studies focused on two groups of workers who with low wage levels: teens and restaurant workers. Early teen studies, Newmark and Washer, 2008, typically found job losses for teens of 1 to 3% for every 10% increase in the minimum wage. Note, however, that the wage gains for low-wage teens would exceed the loss in the numbers of jobs. So let's think about it. If you increase the wage that people are working for, they will want to work there longer. If you don't pay me and you're giving me all this work to do and it's so hard, it can become stressful because I'm not getting paid enough for the work that I'm doing. In low-wage labor markets, remarkably high rates of worker turnover coexist with relatively short unemployment spells. So those spells of them not having enough employees are an effect of the low minimum wage crisis. It may not be easy to make a stand, but make sure you register to vote and make it a part of your life to get out and vote. Your vote counts. Get involved. There has been less and less talk about minimum wage increase since about 12 years ago when it was $7.25. Raising minimum wage doesn't just benefit the workers behind me. It creates a proven ripple effect that increases wages all the way up the scale. Let's get the facts straight. Only 20% of people making the minimum wage are teenagers. The rest are hard-working adults, many of them with families, and I mean hard-working. By yours truly, Joe Biden. Thank you. Bye-bye.